Alright, today I'm reviewing Alien. Um, I love the movie Alien. It is a phenomenal movie, and I think I saw it for the first time around sixth grade. So I've seen the movie for a while. We used to own a VHS of it, and then it fell off the TV and broke. So don't own that anymore. Anyway, I don't believe I saw the director's version. I'd have to double check. But anyway, it's a phenomenal movie, absolutely amazing. I couldn't agree with you more, Jake, in that the thing that this movie does well is suspense. That the alien is not really shown fully in most of the shots, and that's like what makes it so scary is that you don't know what's chasing them. And so, one of my favorite sequences. I mean, obviously, there's the explosion out of the chest, but that's not really actually my favorite scene in the movie. One of the best scenes is when they build up a bunch of suspense, and it's one of the other characters, I don't remember his name, going throughout the ship, and there's just silence, and then the music builds, the music builds, the music builds, bah, and it's the cat, and then you're just like, oh, and you were terrified of the cat, and then like 10 seconds later, the guy gets owned. I'm sorry, that's kind of a spoiler, but yeah, it's just like that's genius in suspense building. I feel is that he scares you with the standard buildup of I'm gonna scare you, gonna scare you, gonna scare you, the cat, and then you're like, and then you're like, oh, it was a cat. Oh shit, holy, and then the real thing happens. Yeah, so he gets you when you're not looking. In terms of Geiger, I meant to look this up and I didn't, and I feel bad. But I'm pretty sure he didn't get paid shit for this movie. I've heard from fans of his that the Alien series that Fox just completely dicked him over and paid him like peanuts for his art and concept stuff for the actual movie slash movies, and he's not happy, and they're not happy about that. They're fans, not Fox. I'm sure Fox is thrilled that they didn't have to pay him very much. So yeah, I'll look into that. Other than that, I mean, what makes this movie is that it's desolate. There's no help. They're all alone. I mean, it is survival horror in science fiction. I don't know that it was the first sci-fi horror movie. I'm not. I would beg to differ that it's probably not the first sci-fi horror movie. It's the first like really suspenseful sci-fi horror movie because most of the sci-fi horror movies are like, giant spider attacks the village sort of stuff. It's like outrageous Lost Skull of Cadavra sort of movies. Um, Whereas this is like really gruesome, serious, scary stuff. And Ripley is actually not my favorite character. She's, I just there's something about her. Like she's sort of this almost trucker esque woman who there's a little bit. No, there really isn't a whole lot of femininity to her, which isn't a bad thing. But it's just I don't know. I can't get into her character. Um, I'll talk more about Aliens, the characters I like in that movie. There aren't a whole lot of characters I really love in the original Alien movie. I like the original Captain, and I liked the girl who was like, there's that line, quit griping, and then she's like, I like griping. I liked her, and I wish I knew their names, but I didn't. When I rewatched it, I didn't bother to remember their names. But there is the camaraderie with the crew, and they're all freaking out, but it's cool that they still work together, and that except for the android, who it's sort of like you don't even really know that he's an android. I mean, like they're sort of hint at it, and he's like, I'm synthetic, and he drinks the weird milky stuff, and then he goes completely evil. And there's that great scene, not the one where he gets wrenched and his head comes off, but that one was cool. No, the scene where Ripley becomes the new captain, and the guy is outside the airlock with the facehugger on his head, that melted through the mask. I'm not sure how that managed to happen, but it did. Facehugger melts through the helmet, and then Ripley makes the call not to let him in. Which, I mean, that's an ethical dilemma right there. You've got your friend, your coworker, your companion, well, not companion, your comrade. That's the word I was looking for. And they very well may die. But do you follow protocol to try to keep everyone else safe? And she is the kind of person who did. And then the android, the non-human, if you will, decides to make the decision that I think most people would make if they knew that person well, to say, no, we're letting this guy on the ship, and we're gonna do everything we can to help him. And then later on, you see that he didn't really do that because he's a good person. He did that because he wanted the specimen. And I think the whole underlying, the company is evil and wants the alien specimens and kind of knew they were there. That aspect of the story really adds to it, rather than it's not just that by happenstance they happened to go there and they happened to, come across these aliens. It's that it all kind of happened, but the android wanted it to happen, and he's trying to get the alien and bring it back to Earth. And it's like scary stuff. So yeah, I love the movie Alien, and truth be told, I like the movie Aliens a little better. So we'll talk about that on. I'll talk about that on Friday. And Neil, I'm looking forward to hear how you had the crap scared out of you from this movie. It is a scary movie, but I think I have rambled long enough. And I will just say that it is a phenomenal film, and I suggest to everyone who has not seen it to go see it. And I know that there are times where it's slow, but stick with it, and it is just brilliant. Anyway, see ya.